You mentioned Katrina, okay? Because I know how it was like for my family in BR during Katrina, but it wasn't like how you say for you. So explain to those. 'Cause there's some people out there that just heard of the storm Katrina and have never been to Louisiana. Period. You
Yeah.
hear what I'm saying? So explain what was it like for you and your family, your community, going through Hurricane Katrina? What was that like? What was the trials and tribulations that y'all had to face through your eyes?
Man, that shit was tough, bro.
Yeah.
That shit give me chills to this day, dog. That shit was tough. Cause I mean, like, that whole situation was misunderstood, you know what I'm saying? And it's like I say, as a child, you know, you never understand what a child look at or what he pays attention to as a child. Poverty will bring a lot of things out of a great person. You know what I'm saying? Some shit that's you seeing your people going through, it have you doing weird shit. You know what I'm saying? For as crime and all that shit. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
But like I say, Katrina, it was, man, that shit was tough, son. I was, like I say, my aunties, because I went with my mom for Katrina. She was actually downtown in an A walk, you know what I'm saying? So it was flooding like a motherfucker. So I had to really lead a Superdome in the water and shit to go try to go find mom and all that shit. But that shit, you know what I mean?
Wow.
Yeah, that shit was
What
kind
was
of
that like? What was that like?
that shit was really emotional.
So we're like, how is this really like you know like really like underwater like caught like people lost everything like literally had to start over from what
Man,
I
nigga
see.
lost everything, son.
Yeah.
And then like nigga lost everything. Then the midst like I'm like '05 was just a fucked up year for me. Period. You hear me? Cause it's like before the storm, my uncle got killed. My best friend, two of my little best friends had got killed.
Yeah.
So it was like that year that just was fucked up. Period. Then a storm after that hit. So that shit just was.
So how many friends did you lose
I
during that?
lost I lost like two friends back to back.
Wow.
You hear me?
Wow.
And
Wow.
I lost my uncle.
So man, all right, you mentioned losing two of your friends back to back while going through the whole Katrina thing, man. So you lost them to like three shit.
Yeah, street shit.
Man. Okay. So man, how long did that situation last for you? Like rebuilding? Did you relocate or did you stay down
Oh, we went to Houston, like we was in the Superdome, so we was like one of the first persons people. I'm talking about person, but the first people that hit the Astrodome in Houston, Texas.
there? Okay. Okay. So I want to get your opinion on. 'Cause when did you start going to Baton Rouge? When was your first time coming to Baton Rouge?
Oh, for the hurricane for the Katrina.
Okay, so you went to
It was
Houston
the
first.
first, and then I went to Gardell
Okay,
and VR.
all right, all right. So you being born and knowing everything you know by being in New Orleans, your whole everything's in New Orleans. A tragic storm happens where you have to relocate. Now you go from Houston to Baton Rouge and stuff like that, man. What was that transition like? Because I know there's a difference between. I've never been to Houston, but I'm pretty sure there's a difference between Houston and New Orleans.
Right.
Just like there's a Houston difference between New Orleans and Baton Rouge. So for those out there, like man, could you like break down those differences, like the scenery or you know what I'm saying? How long were you in Houston? You
See,
know.
Katrina had hit what August.
Uh-huh.
I think I had left around like what that was probably like in '06.
Okay.
Like a
So
minute, cause I come to BR. Probably that was probably like a little 4 months before I go caught my little jokes or whatever. Never went. If you want to get to that little story,
yeah, okay. So when we get to that, so what did you do down there in Houston? Like, what was okay? Now you packed up and relocated. What? And had to start over. What type of things did you get into once you got into Houston?
say, bro,
Mm-hmm.
I come up off a homeless sign out, bro.
Okay.
You hear me? It's like fuck. When we went to the address, dome, I ain't gonna lie, bro. Coming from that super dome, all the corruption and shit they had up in there and shit.
Yeah.
You know, going to the Asher Dome, they got water, they got food, they got shelter. You know, that shit was like heaven. You hear me? Like you was in heaven. So it's like, you know, the love they was showing, I ain't gonna lie, they was showing love, different actors and different, people coming, showing their little love and whatever and shit like that. But then, from there, nigga went to, nigga ain't have nothing, so nigga went to
I'm just finna ask you. Okay. What you did to
shit. Man, look, I ain't gonna even lie, bro. I always that type of nigga. I ain't had no pride in my game. I had to come up off a homeless side, bro. I ain't gonna say come up,
you have to live, you gotta
but
survive.
that was the way. Shit, I had to get some money. You know what I'm saying? I was like, damn, nigga, really home. Like, nigga really don't have nothing. So, there was two little dykes. You heard me? I never forget them. It was two little dykes, bro. They had seen me, bro.
Okay.
And, they had seen my little brother. Because he was out there with his little partner. So, they took us to the Shawtown Mall. Bought us some clothes, gave us a few dollars. You
Just
heard
off
me?
the strength.
Just off the strength.
Okay.
Gave me an envelope. And from there, I took off. You heard me?
Okay. What was in the? It was some shams or something.
Yeah, it was some shams. You heard me?
Okay. So what was that next move after you got shoot
You
back
know,
just a little bit?
then from there, they went to kicking the nigga out. They were saying nigga fucking up and all that. You know how the public push shit on the news, make shit move.
Wait, so you had kicked the news?
How they went to kicking us from the shelters and shit, putting us on the streets, putting us in a apartments and shit.
Oh.
And you know how that go, nigga feeling like, oh, this them niggas from New Orleans coming down there.
Okay.
You know how that go.
I hear. So, all right. Even then, you still was in Houston, right?
Yeah, he was fall apart, you know. Antoine and Tesoro.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So, when did you move? What made you move to Baton Rouge? What was that? Why that transition?
Like what made me move to Baton Rouge, getting in trouble out there, going to jail in Houston and shit.
Okay, what
The
did you
fucking
go to jail for in Houston?
barrier with the police had a police back there. They were trying to make an example out of nigga. You hear me?
Okay.
So they beating a nigga, cause you gotta look at it, bro. That's anywhere you go, if you coming from a other environment, you could be misunderstood. You know what I'm saying? You doing what you used to doing, where you from,
Yeah.
and they got the way they do shit, and certain shit could get sideways and twist the wrong way. You know what I'm saying? Especially when you're young. You hear me? You emotional like a motherfucker.
Yeah.
And nigga was immature as shit, getting into it with the police trying to kick us out. Nigga ain't having that. Nigga fighting with them. It was times my grandma and them had to come out there. You know, one time they were about to beat the fuck out of me so bad. My grandma and them would have walked out that bitch. It would have been over with for me. Fucking right.
Damn.
You know.
So, with all that going on, you said, I'm going to shoot the BR.
I'm gonna shoot the BR.
Now, was there a certain opportunity or family down here in BR
Well,
that made you want to?
you know, my little brother, and my mama was down here.
Okay.
Cause when they went to Houston, they were like, "Fuck." My mom and them were like, "Fuck all that. This bitch too big. Yeah, I gotta get the fuck."
Okay.
They kept getting lost out there, so they like, "Fuck, BR the closest thing. We gonna land in BR." So they went to Gardera. So fuck. It was like, I'm still in Houston. You know, like I said, I'm a grandma babe. So my grandma and all, you know, my little cousin and them, they out there.
Okay.
So one day, my little brother and them, like, they missed the little nigga or whatever, you heard me? So I shoot the BR. I go to Gardell. They got the little DJ going on. This bitch live. I said, well, fuck, that bitch like, you know, this bitch is like home, you heard me? So I fell in love right there and now. I'm like, well, fuck. The next thing you know, I was already getting in trouble out there in Houston. My grandma was like, man, you need to go down there by your mom and go to BR. So that was a nigga landed and then got out.
How old were you then when you moved to
Oh,
you? How old were
see,
you?
for Katrina, I was probably like 17 then.
Okay.
Yeah, I was probably like 16 and a half, 17, some shit like that.
Okay. Only getting up there on your way to adulthood type shit.
Yeah.
Okay. So, and you were 17 when you moved to Baton Rouge?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so what was that transition like? Now you went from with your home when you born in New Orleans, that scenery, where you said, you know, they treated you well at first in Houston with the food and you know, it was good until you start having run-ins with the law.
Yeah.
So now you say Baton Rouge, you have some family down here and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
You communicate with. What was that transition like? What was the difference between that and Houston?
Shit. BR was fuck. It was like home. Fuck. I mean, you know, that's what. That ain't too far. That was the backyard. Fuck. So you know.
Yeah, right.
You know, BR a nigga backyard. You hear me? Like, so it was like.
Understood. So
it wasn't nothing. You know.
Okay. So when you came down here, did you have a spot set up or anything?
Yeah, I had me a spot on there. You hear me? I had. Shit, that was like one of my I had like my first little studio. That was like my little first little studio right there on Nash Street.
Studio apartment?
Yeah, an apartment.
I thought you were like a studio recording studio.
No,
man, my dog was dropping the ball.
Oh no,
okay.
no.
You know, we had a few rappers on it. Okay. So, all right.